everybody. I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today I'm going to talk about why Generation X, why I believe anyway, Generation X is the most hardcore generation alive today. And this is something I've been thinking about since my conversation with Laic. Some of you watched that, but we talked about shadow logic and the patterns in between what's actually seen or said, right? The absences. So we went about that. For those of you who didn't watch it, shadow logic is like, when you pay attention to what is not said, what the media doesn't tell us, what the government doesn't tell us. There are patterns in between the actual messages and the absence of the message. It can be a message in itself. Cash Man, what's up, Cash Man? Hey, glad to see you here. Zombie, what's up? Glad to see you here. Glad y'all could make it. But in that, taking that shadow logic premise that Laic was talking about and applying it to Generation X, some stuff starts to become clear. One of the things that's said about us, we were raised on hose water and neglect. Now, what is neglect? Neglect is the absence of caring, the absence of affection, the absence of, the absence of attention. It's an absence of presence, the presence of a caring, devoted family or parents. So neglect is the absence of something. Another thing that that a lot of us Gen Xers experienced was abandonment. And what is abandonment but the absence of presence? You know what I'm saying? One of your parents bolted, bailed on you. I went through that. A lot of us have experienced loss. We talked about that quite a bit. That pops up in our live streams. The loss of a family member, a parent, a spouse, any kind of family member. Some of us have even lost children. And what is lost but the permanent absence of presence without even the hope of reconnecting, right? And this absence is even continues into the present day with this whole, it's become a real, almost a phenomena, right? With the children, what they call it, going no contact or non-contact or some shit like that, where the kids nowadays, they're just, the parents are toxic. My parents are toxic and abusive because they told me to go sit down and took my Xbox away and shit. So they're just toxic and abusive because I wasn't allowed to do whatever, whatever standard the parents were trying to set. So any kind of discipline is abuse. Any form of discipline is abuse. Telling your kids to hush up and go to their rooms is abuse. It's toxic. It's violence. That kind of shit. So these kids are going no contact and just abandoning their parents. And again, we're seeing an absence. And in my opinion, Generation X is forged in this shadow, this absence of, whatever. We've been lost and just not only the loss of something, but in the terms of neglect from the time we were born, it just never existed. We never had these caring, devoted parents that followed us around and made sure we had everything. We had to fend for ourselves from day one, basically. Or maybe our brothers and sisters filled that gap in some instances. I know I did for my brothers and sisters. But living and active, Shannon, Gina, hey Gina, glad to see y'all here. Glad you could make it. Yeah, allowed to run feral. Well, yeah, I mean, so not all of us were neglected. Not every single one of us. Not every single one of us were abandoned by our parents. Not every single one of us have suffered parental loss. Not every single one of us have been, gone no contact from our kids. But uh, generally speaking, this is a pretty common thing among Generation X. These things, these absences, right? This and we've had to forge our lives in this absence without these things. You know, look at these kids now today. They've got devoted, loving parents, and they're going no contact, right? The boomers had devoted, loving parents, had a whole household to come home to mom and dad every day. That mom was home, dad was at work. We didn't have that. We were lucky, if our parents stayed married, and if they did, they were probably both working. You know, so yeah, it's different. Oliver Rust, what's up, Oliver? Glad to see you here. Ah, that's good, zombie. Yeah, Gen X attitude and sarcasm. Yeah, dude. Michelle, hey Michelle, glad to see you here. You were the youngest zombie. Oh yeah, a lot of alone time would be good. Yeah, but that is, if you were alone, that's an absence. You grew up alone, so there's an absence there, and that made you who you are. And I believe that Generation X was we were uh, we were created in an absence, in a lot of ways by not having a lot of things, and that made us who we are, and that's why we are the way we are. You know what I mean? That's why we don't we're more cynical, we're more distrustful. I don't know about you, but my parents would tell me not to open the door for anyone, don't unlock the door for anyone. I'd be home, 7, 8 years old, don't open the door for anyone, that kind of shit. That breeds distrust and cynicism. Somebody knocking on the door or whatever, you're automatically, get nervous or scared or whatever when you're 7 years old. You don't know who the hell it is. You're not supposed to open the door. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not saying they were bad parents. A lot of times it was by necessity. Both parents had to work. But if both parents are working, they're neglecting their kids. I mean, call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? That doesn't make them bad parents. By necessity, they had to work. Or if you were raised in a single parent household, you know, that one parent had to work. Shit, you didn't. That means that they spent most of their day working, and then the rest of the day they were bone tired from working all day to support your ass. So, yeah, I'm not hacking on the parents for doing what they had to do. I had to come to terms with all the crazy shit my parents did and all the mistakes they made. I'm not blaming parents, but at the same time, I was alone, babysitting my brothers and sisters at 7, 8 years old. That's a fact. It's not. I'm not. Uh, crying because I was alone. I'm not crying because my parents were bad parents, but they weren't there. So, it's just a fact. Yeah. Um, but we gotta look at the facts and what was. You know what I mean? And analyze that shit and try to understand why kids are the way they are today and why Generation X is the way we are. You know what I mean? Because a lot of especially our children now today, not everyone, not all kids, not all Gen Xers, but a lot of them, view Gen X as cold and unfeeling and all this shit. Well, why do and we know we're not, you know. We don't give a shit about a lot of dumb stuff, don't get me wrong. But we know we're not cold and unfeeling toward our children. So why do they perceive us that way? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, by the time you were born, your parents were done raising kids. Cherry, what's up? Glad to see you here. Yeah, new set of headphones. All right, awesome. Glad you got some new headphones. And your auntie with a. Oh yeah, Michelle. I wouldn't trade my childhood for anything either. I wouldn't go back and relive it. Don't get me wrong. I would not go back and redo that shit for all the tea in China. You couldn't get me to go back and relive that shit. But yeah, I wouldn't trade it off either because it made me who I am today. And that's part of what I'm talking about is that all that stuff that we went through, whether it was good or bad, you might have had the best childhood in the world imaginable, but it made you who you are. You know what I mean? The alone time, the freedom, uh, and all that stuff. They were great things. I'm not saying that they were horrible. Um, yeah, they were great. It's the other stuff in my childhood that made it shitty. You know what I mean? Not the freedom, not the neglect. Those were the good things about my childhood. Those were the best parts of my childhood. So yeah, yeah, family dinners and vacations. Yeah, no, yeah, you're right about that. Nobody does that anymore. Bucky, what's up? Glad to see you here, man. I hope everybody has a great day and a great Christmas coming up. Yeah, yeah. Trust is earned and precious when it comes. Yeah, yeah. Living. Yeah. Um, and that I mean, in most ways that's a good thing. You don't want to trust, just trust. You know what I mean? And then it seems like people, even when they do trust nowadays, uh, trust they trust the wrong. They trust the government and corporations and vaccines and shit. You know what I mean? People are giving their trust in the wrong direction. Oh, what's up, Jeff Seven? How's it going? All right, glad to see you here, man. Yeah, zombie. 30 years old at 7, 30 years old at 50. Yeah, that's us, dude. Oh yeah, yeah. That sounds like a pretty good childhood, Shannon. Yeah, my dad didn't work and he beat the shit out of us. So my dad wouldn't get a job to save his damn life. But to each their own. That's why I say that even though I loved it, I loved the freedom and stuff, Shannon. I I wouldn't go back and redo it. You know what I mean? It's the freedom and even the ass whoopings and stuff that made me who I am. So as a whole, I I appreciate the experience as being growing up in the 70s and 80s with all the freedom and all that. But I still, if I had had a better childhood, family wise and all that, I would go back into the 70s and 80s if I had the choice and relive it. Yeah, sure. But I just didn't have that good of a the surrounding environment locally, the war, America, the world, the Western civilization as a whole was better, and I would go back to experience that. But yeah, but I wouldn't want to relive our childhood. Wise beyond our years, yeah, Michelle, definitely. Yeah, living Cherry is Jeff Seven. Yeah, yeah, all right, Michelle. Yeah, me too. I usually deserved an ass whooping when I got it. It was just, a little above and beyond what was called for. What did we learn? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, zombie. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I apply that method of teaching to myself, zombie. What did I learn from this shit? Point the knife away from myself. That's what I learned. Yeah. Yeah, it made us survivors. Oh, damn. Okay. All right, Jeff. Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. Yeah, sure. Living. Yeah, go ahead. Put it in there. If YouTube will let you, I don't mind. Your phone is a communist zombie. Donald, what's up? Donald Clausen Osidex. What's up, dude? Glad to see you here, Donald. They don't know what you're asking? All right. Oh, won't let you access your Jeff 7 account? All right, Jeff. No problem, dude. No problem. We'll work around your accounts, dude. Glad to see you here, though, man. Glad you made it. Sorry you had to jump through hoops and mess with your damn phone. Oh, that's cool, zombie. Your dad was a chief engineer at Chrysler, huh? In charge of transmission and final drive. That's cool as hell, dude. Yeah, yeah, Donald. That's how I feel. I don't need to relive it. I mean, I appreciate it, and even the hard times and everything I had to go through. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it now, you know, because it made me who I am. I'm sure the sword appreciated the fire and the beatings and shit. You know what I mean? It's like that. Now I'm a sword. So yeah, in that way, in that kind of metaphorically, I appreciate the fire, but other than that, no, I don't. I don't want to be. I wouldn't choose to be put back in the fire. Felix, what's up, Felix? Glad to see you here, dude. Yeah, yeah. Either BB gun wars or rubber band guns. Me and my brother used to make rubber band guns and all that kind of shit. Yep. Yeah, we used to do that same stuff. We used to play Manhunt. We made up a game called Manhunt. You'd go back in a heartbeat, zombie. Yeah, I would as an adult if I could go back and I'd like to just back to the future type of thing. Go back as an adult, but I wouldn't want to go back and relive my childhood. Yeah, yeah, and that's part of it, Shannon. When you have to live like that, and a lot of us did. We didn't have a big support network. We didn't have the opportunities, and we there was no fallback plan, and failure was not an option. It just was not. We didn't have a choice. We had to succeed. You had to forge forward, go through whatever the hell was in front of you, go through it, and make it out the other end. And a lot of, especially the younger kids, they're not forced into that. People don't understand what they can do until they have to do it. And that is the absolute truth. Oh, I can't. That's one of my pet peeves. I hear people saying that. Oh, I can't. Oh, you can. You just don't want to. You just don't want to. I mean, call a spade a spade. At least admit the truth. I don't want to. Don't tell me you can't, because I can put you in a corner and you'll feel I realize that you absolutely can. You can. You know what I'm saying? When the rubber meets the road, you can. You absolutely can. So yeah. Wayne Beatty, what's up, dude? Glad to see you here. Yeah, if you're not first, you're last. Yeah. Babylonian rectangle of death? What the hell is that? Jeff? I've never heard of that, dude. All right, so living. I'm gonna pin your. I think I am. Maybe. Maybe I am. Oh, yeah. I'm going to pin Living's message here. So that's a good channel, he says, for disabled people. And I know a lot of people want to say I'm, mentally disabled, but but legally speaking, I'm of sound mind and body. So, but yeah, uh, if you need some help with that or are interested in that in any way, I pinned that message to the top. Please visit that YouTube channel, check it out, give them your support. At the very least, they're doing something good. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you're interested, please check out Live to Roll. Oh, post a link in the comments after the show, so it's like, oh yeah, okay, all right, zombie, yeah, that's a good idea. Let me see. Wonder if I can copy that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it works. All right. Peer mentoring podcast and live stream for the physically disabled. Okay, that's something we should all be able to get behind. No, thank you, Michelle. So Michelle's going to share it as well. Living ninja stars out of soup. Holy dangerous Batman. Holy shit, we never did that. Yeah, we never did that. Talk about dangerous. Donald ninja stars out of soup can lids. I can imagine flicking those at each other. Holy shit. I bet you have some wicked scars, Donald. We never even thought of that shit. Yeah. Rubber band wars with paperclip ammo. Yeah, zombie. Oh, yeah, living. Yeah. Yeah, you should have told Nikki yes. Yeah, you should have carried that shit forward, dude. Yeah. Yeah, Donald. Yeah, exactly. Do or do not. No try, no can't, none of that shit. Do it or don't do it. And that's Gen X is built on that shit. Look at the Nike ad. They knew us. Just do it. That's what, Nike told us that shit. Just do it. Yeah. And we heard that shit growing up. Oh, yeah, we did that. We did the origami style paper stars. Yeah, we did that too, Felix. we, we talk about we'd lose fingers and shit with those soup can lids, slinging those things. Holy shit. Yeah, Donald, I can imagine it was deadly. Holy shit. I can't get those images out of my brain now. Kids trying to lose a damn finger to a soup can lid. Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 No, I honestly, zombie, and I honestly don't remember the last time I've got, I've actually had my feelings hurt. Uh, Ezekiel, what's up? Actually, years ago, I was goofing around, with my sister. Adults. We were adults, but still, it was years ago, in my probably my late 30s or something. And I was just messing with. She said something. She said something to me. She was hacking on me, whatever. I forget what she said, and I told her that she offended me. Oh man, you offended me and shit. And she said, "Bullshit, Jesse. I can't offend you." And I thought about it. This was before all the being offended was so popular, and all this, being, especially nowadays, being offended for other people. But yeah, this was years before that was even popular. And she said, I can't offend you. And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, you're right. I don't really think there's a way that anyone could offend me. I never thought about it before, but she pointed it out, you know. She just knew I was full of shit by claiming to be offended, you know, because she knew that I just couldn't be offended. And that was, like I said, that was before all the you know, the bright spotlight on everybody being offended. Years before that. Your mom had you tested, Donald? Yeah, what was that from, dude? That's from a movie, isn't it? That's a movie quote, Donald. What movie's that from, dude? J- no, I don't. I don't, zombie. Yeah. Yeah, living. Yeah, you're right. That's a good way to put it. Trauma comes from shock and shock from surprise. If someone hurts me and I am traumatized by it, it is my fault for being taken unawares. Yeah. Yeah, it's how you react, Felix. Yeah. And and that's one thing people don't understand. People give their power to the outside environment, to the world, to other people, right? Let's just say living and active could say some shit on here, you know, hey Jesse, you're looking like shit this morning or whatever. You need to do, you know, just some bullshit. And now I could allow that to affect me. I can. Or I can say no, you know, nah, I think I look pretty good, dude, whatever. You know? Either way, it's my choice. In now, from where I'm sitting in my mind, from my mindset, it's my choice. Now, living what he typed doesn't mean anything at all, you know, as far as whether it's going to hurt me or not. I choose to be hurt by it. I choose to take offense by it or whatever, you know. That's my choice. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. That you, by allowing other people to offend you, you're giving away your power, your control over yourself. Nobody controls me. Nobody, you know, nobody can make me feel a certain way. I choose to feel that way. And it's in the language. If you think about it, he made me mad. He made me sad. You know, all that. He made me. No, he didn't make me shit. I chose to get angry because I don't like that shit. I got angry because I wanted to. You know what I mean? I got sad because I wanted to. Nobody makes me. You know, I don't believe that shit. That's just hogwash. It's bullshit. Nobody makes me anything. Not when it comes to my feelings and my mind and my, you know, inside me. The cops can drag me to jail and make me, you know, and make me go to jail. They can do physical shit to you, but inside your head, no. No, they can't make me do shit. Oh yeah, zombie. Those shurikens were the shit, dude. Yeah, them ninja throwing stars, especially the cheap ones at the flea market. Yeah, boom, broomstick nunchucks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get great until they're not in an epic way. Sometimes, yeah. And that's another thing. Just in general, I've learned throughout my life, and I'm sure a lot of you have. You know, we hear this term rock bottom a lot. Oh, you know, we hit rock bottom, and I have hit rock bottom in my life before, right? And just I literally thought that I had nothing to lose. You know, I've got nothing to lose, and then I lost some more, and I found a new rock bottom, right? You find out that rock bottom, you're looking up at your old rock bottom and you can barely see your way up there. You're like, damn, life was actually pretty damn good. And I was pissing and moaning because life sucked. And now I'm down here, you know. And then you piss and moan around there for a few minutes and then you find a new rock bottom. You fall a couple more stages down. And then you know, you're down there and you're digging and you're thinking about how life sucks and shit and digging away and how you know, you got this shitty shovel and pissing and moaning about, worried that somebody's going to take your shovel. And then you realize at some point, it seems like in my experience anyway, you wake up and you're like, why do I even have this shovel? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm digging beneath my feet, and complaining because keep finding these new rock bottoms. And you throw the damn shovel away and then start figuring out how to climb back the hell up to your first rock bottom where life was actually pretty damn good. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of a lesson in life that I had to learn the hard way on my own, but it's a very valuable lesson, and I'm sure a lot of you have learned it as well. I'm not like trying to be one of those self-help guru guys. Gen X knows this kind of shit. Pencils in the cork ceiling, Michelle. Alarmingly unperturbed. I like that. I like that. Yeah, enough trauma in the Navy to last a lifetime. Yeah. Oh, I bet, zombie. Yeah. Seeing people get erased in real time changes you. Yeah. No shit, Felix. Saw a lady jump from the Sahara Casino parking structure. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it does, Shannon. It weirds people out. Yeah, an abnormal response. If you don't freak out and get all, then you're seen as abnormal. Yeah. Sadness isn't really a. Oh, there he is, Jeff Seven. What's up, dude? Rocker, what's up, Rocker? Glad to see you here, man. Yeah, yeah. It's hard to be a shoulder to cry on when it, it, we've got our own problems. You know what I mean? You sit here and listen to somebody else's shit, then you find listening to their shit, you realize that their problems that they're crying about are they're petty shit. You know what I mean? Get some real problems, and then come crying. Yeah, yeah. They're rock bottom, Shannon. In my experience, it's almost infinitely down. You know what I mean? Pretty close. I know there actually is maybe rock bottom is deletion or whatever, but um, there it can always get worse. Always get worse. Yeah, feelings just get in the way. Yeah, and that's a lot of us have rocker. If not up close and personal, death in the family, and that's kind of made us who we are. The experience with death. We didn't have to necessarily go to war to experience death. You know. You terrified her because you refused to lose it. Yeah. Yeah, fentanyl, yeah. Yep. That's why I don't mind. I hear that shit about Trump firing rockets at, and not him personally, but this administration firing rockets at boats bringing that shit over, rocker. Hey, yeah. Even if they get a couple of innocent fishermen. I mean honestly, compared to the millions of lives over here lost to fentanyl and that other shit, yeah, well, you got to break a few eggs in my opinion. They shouldn't don't put a speedboat in the water and aim it toward the United States. Fair warning to the world. Don't do it. Oh, three buddies. Felix, yeah, the jab, yeah. Dang, and then that, I mean, come on, all the shit we've lived through, the shit we've survived, the surviving Gen Xers, and watched other people, disappear. Oh, damn, dude, yeah, zombie. That's yeah, that reminds me of Indiana Jones. Yeah, remember that when he was fighting that guy on the tarmac, the um, the first one, the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, yeah, that's a good quote there, Felix. Life, it's worth losing. Yeah, it just is, Shannon. Yeah, yeah. Then we'll be sad, zombie. Yeah, Darwin Awards. Yeah, rocker. Damn. Yeah, losing a sibling like that, a close family member, it changes you. All right, Bucky, be cool, buddy. See you later, man. Glad you could drop by, dude. Mike Flies, and what's up, Mike? Glad to see you here, buddy. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, rocker, I agree, dude. If how people can be up in arms about that shit, but they weren't up in arms about them running drugs over here for decades. Yeah, people that can't identify as a woman can identify as a fishing boat. Yeah, yeah, zombie. Dog karma lost its sister to fentanyl. See, uh, a common thing. And where do you set the boundary of what we will do to stop that, to protect our people? Where do we set the boundary to the rest of the world? Don't bring that shit over here. We just gonna tell them, is that as far as we can go? Please don't bring that shit over here, and that's it. Uh, yeah, something's got to be done, and somebody that does it, I'll back them. If even if I don't agree 100% with the way they're doing it, which I do agree with the way Trump's doing it, so I'm not saying that. If anything, he's a little too moderate in my opinion on a lot of stuff he does. He needs to put the pedal to the metal, and they put the pedal to the metal for on these foreign wars, trillions of dollars in these foreign wars for decades. They can put the pedal to the metal defending America from drugs and all this other shit. So yeah, Sprinkle, there she is. Hey, Sprinkle, glad to see you here. Yeah, the trial and error generation, zombie. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, that would be tough. I drove by an accident one time. Somebody in one of those little lowrider pickups. What do you call them? A mini truck or something like a Nissan or something. And this was back in the '90s, and it had hit a semi truck in the back end, and just above the hood, right where the glass meets the hood, that semi truck had sheared off the cab of that truck, the pickup truck, and it was laying in the back in the bed of the pickup truck. So I imagine it hit. I didn't. We were driving past it, but I could just imagine it. What happened? That must have been gruesome. Yeah, but yeah, that kind of stuff. That's hard to see. That's hard to look at. I can't imagine what the hell those EMTs and stuff that got to show up to those scenes and have to do that, on a daily basis. Man. Felix, yeah, that's one of those things I always wanted as a kid was a chemistry set. Yeah. All right, Buck. Thanks, man. Yep. Have a safe trip to work. Yeah, they don't care about our families and friends, Rocker. No, not at all. Not one bit. They don't care how many of us die. The politicians who are against this shit don't care how many of us die. The corporations who are making money off this shit don't care how many of us died. None of them care. Not the El Salvadorans or the Hondurans or whatever. Not our own government. Not our own corporations. They don't give a shit about us. We can die. We have been dying by the millions. What have they done? What have they done up until now? Now Trump's blown up a couple boats. Hopefully that sends a message. Blowing up a couple boats ain't gonna do shit though. I mean, honestly, it's not gonna, it's a drop in the ocean. Maybe the message sent there might, maybe, but yeah, nobody gives a shit. No one, except each other. We have to care about each other, or there is none. Because all these politicians and corporations have us brainwashed and fooled into thinking they care about us, they care for us. It, they do not at all, not in the slightest. Yeah, yeah, Michelle. Even in the game Battleship, you had to hit them more than once. Yeah, that's a good analogy, Michelle. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, living. Yeah, as much time as we spent watching our peers, friends, and siblings take themselves out with ODs, I have no time or patience or tolerance. Zero tolerance. Yeah, none. And that's exactly the way I feel. Zero tolerance. Put a speedboat in the water and point it toward the United States and you say goodbye. You might as well. I hope you said goodbye to your family before you turned that key and started that boat. And that would be my damn motto. That would be the way I would run shit too. Yeah. Are you here, Sand? Mister. Yeah, you're here, Sand. I'm just going to call you Sand. I don't know how to pronounce the rest of that. Well, welcome to the show, Sand. Glad to see you here. Glad you could make it. Yeah, not just fender benders. Yeah, Shannon. Those, yeah, faster roads are more deadly car crashes. Yeah, definitely. We've got I-75 here in Florida, and it's deadly. And it's always um, gridlocked. You know, you'll be it one wreck will turn it into a parking lot, and every time it rains, damn near a good heavy rain, there's a wreck because people just don't know how to drive in the rain. All right, Sand. I hope you found yourself. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Sand. Yep. That's true. A person's death is a tragedy. 100,000 is a statistic. But it shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. A person's death is a tragedy because to the people close to them. 100,000 deaths, should be 100,000 tragedies, to the people who are seeing it. But we have these addicts dying every day of overdoses, uh, and it would be one thing if the number wouldn't be so big if they hadn't been addicted through legal means, pharmaceutical prescriptions. That's how they get addicted. A lot of them. They go to the doctor in pain, and so they get these these opioids. They used to anyway. I know they've made it more difficult, but still. And then the doctor won't write them any more prescriptions, and they need more and more because they build up a tolerance to it. So now but they're addicted to opium, so they got to go find some shit. And they end up becoming criminals and shit, all because of a car accident or some kind of accident at work or something. They were just hardworking, normal people. They were not there partying. They were raising their kids. It's not like they're out there, smoking crack and doing bumps of coke and shit at cocktail parties and ended up as an addict. No, the dude was working his ass off, or the woman was working her ass off and got hurt and trusted their doctor. That's what turned them into addicts. Joseph Stalin said that, Sand? Okay. Yeah, think for yourself. Exactly, Felix. Gen X stinks. And for those new to the channel, that's what I'm not up here spouting, trying to be some kind of philosopher or telling anybody what to do. I'm just inviting people to think for themselves, pointing out the very basic fact that you can and are allowed to think for yourself. Question everything. Question Trump. Question all the people that say they hate Trump. Question all the people that are for Trump. Question every damn thing. Question automobile manufacturers. Question, Microsoft and Apple. Question them all. Question Honduras. Question Russia and China. Question the banks. Question the justice system, the prison system. Question it all. Okay, Sand. Yeah, that's how our politicians see us. Yeah, and that's like I don't know. Somebody probably said it earlier, but I know Hillary Clinton said it. Never let a good catastrophe go to waste. And it only takes one small step in imagination to realize that hell, it's probably at least tempting to manufacture catastrophes. If that's how you get done what you want to get done. So to manufacture these catastrophes is not a big stretch of the imagination. Georgia, huh? Did you like it in Georgia, Rocker? Yeah. Yeah, it gets backed up on the interstate. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, pain management. Yeah, living. Yep. Yeah, pound sand. Yeah. Yeah, we survived that shit as kids. We survived so much. Um, and these younger kids, they can't even imagine what it was like living back then. Just like it's hard for us to imagine, but not so hard though. I don't have much trouble, but I've used outhouses and stuff, in my younger years. So, but to imagine, having to go outside to go to the bathroom without indoor plumbing and stuff, that kind of shit. It's hard to imagine that, how people used to live. Have to go chop firewood for 3 hours, to be able to make it through the day, to cook and stay warm. We didn't just get to walk over to the thermostat. Well, nowadays, these thermostats, you just talk to them. If you don't have to touch the damn thing. It's already pre-programmed throughout the year. Oh, good, Michelle. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So Michelle's an example of a doctor's causing addiction. And and my wife just went through a thing, and I here's another thing, getting off into the medical part of it, but I went to the doctor a few years ago, 3 4 years ago. First time ever in my life they checked my cholesterol. Right? Oh, your cholesterol's high. It's, or almost high. They said I'm almost on the borderline or something. And I was just like, so, but we're gonna put you on a statin or something, or you can take some, the doctor that I said you can try some other stuff for a while, but if it doesn't get better, we're gonna need to put you on some kind of pill. No, not me. I'm not giving anybody advice, but I'm not taking a damn pill for cholesterol. There's too many questions about it in my mind, and in my mind, okay, but let's say my cholesterol. Who says that my cholesterol and Michelle's cholesterol are exactly the same? The healthy level is exactly the same. What, I don't know the numbers. Say 500. Let's just say 500. So that is perfect. Both of our cholesterols, if they vary from 500, something's wrong. Okay, Michelle has eaten completely different things than I have. She's got completely different DNA, genetic makeup than I do because her parents come from a different line and all that stuff. So doesn't it make sense that our cholesterol, our healthy cholesterol levels might be just a little bit different? That just makes sense to me. So anyway, to continue with the story, I never. They checked it again. I went back. My wife gets me to go back and have a checkup and shit once in a while. But they checked it again, and it was the same. It's almost your cholesterol is almost high. It hasn't moved at all, and you might have to get on a statin and shit. I'm like, okay, whatever. So then, but my wife, her cholesterol's been high for a while, or borderline or whatever, and they've had her on a statin, and then she quit taking it, and she goes back to the doctor recently, and she tells the doctor, I don't want to get back on the statin. I don't want to take that pill. I don't want to get back on medication. Oh, well, if you want to do that, well, we have a test you can take that sees if you have whatever that is, that build up in your arteries, and then if your arteries are okay, then you won't need the statin. You won't need the pill. And my wife come back from the doctor and told me this shit. I'm like, why wasn't that the first option? The first option. Why was the pill the first option? Why wasn't, let's see if you need the pill, the first option? Directly to the pharmaceuticals. Skip the test. Directly to the pharmaceuticals. You need a statin. Not, let's see if you need a statin first. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Let's check your arteries, see if there's any buildup, any blockages or anything, whatever. If your arteries, then you might need a statin, but you might not. But me and my wife both, we didn't even know this test existed until she pushed back against taking the statin. So for the rest of you out there who go to the doctor and they want to throw you on a pill, they have a test to see if you need the damn pill. And how many other pills are there out there that there's a test to see if we need it, and we don't even know that it's an option. We don't even know that the test exists. So yeah, that kind of shit burns me. We're supposed to be able to trust our doctors. We're supposed to be able to go there and listen to their advice and take their advice and get healthy. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. We'll listen to their advice and take some pills, but whether those pills make you healthy or not, we have no idea. You're going to the casino and gambling is what you're doing. Gambling with your health. Yeah, hell, Shannon, everyone should stay away from opiates, in my opinion. Yeah. Just stay away from that shit. Yeah, knowledge is power. Yep. Yeah. That kind of stuff. Uh, Lots of pain. Probably nowhere near the level you have, but I live with a lot of pain too from just from dumb shit I did as a kid. Um, and it's not fun, but I'm not gonna become a fentanyl addict because I don't want to live with it. I'll live with it. All right, Sand. Only child, just turned 18. All right. 53. And I Oh, so you were born in 72, huh? Yeah. We are alive, living. Yeah. That's the important thing, dude. We didn't give up, we didn't shut down, we didn't quit. We're alive and we're here. We've lived, we've passed every test so far. Some of us have more and more difficult tests ahead of us. And we just have to realize that it's not over. Oh yeah, that shit. They know. Yeah, that and that shot, that Ozempic shit or whatever, and Donald Trump, I think, just uh, endorsed or did something, gave an executive order to help that Ozempic. Yeah, that shit just kills me. It just kills me. Eat better food and exercise more. I know it's hard. It's hard, but it's better than these damn drugs. I just this pharmaceutical shit is the worst. And then people get a little overweight, and they still look fine. They look great, but they see themselves as fat, and I got to take some pills and go to the doctor and Ozempic and all this shit. When I remember when uh, my grandma, she was heavier set, and she went to the doctor back then, and they told her, well, that's healthy for a woman your age. That's a healthy weight. I remember her telling me that. Well, the doctor said it's a healthy weight, Jesse. Then I'm just fine. It's like, see, grandma, nothing to worry about. Now they're pushing Ozempic on people. And my grandma wasn't obese. She wasn't, 350 pounds or whatever, 400 pounds. She was just heavy set or whatever you want to call it. They've got so many. It's so bullshit now that, yeah, doctors get paid to prescribe medication. Yep. Yeah, Michelle. Oh yeah, Ozempic is going to end a lot of lives. You damn right, zombie. And they're pushing it. The society, the media are in love with it. It's the golden child, just like what was that shit? Oxycodone used to be. Yeah, it's a Gila monster saliva. I believe it, dude. Are you serious, Felix? Is that a fact? Oh yeah, zombie. I saw a recent picture of Miley Cyrus. She looks like a freaking alien. Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool, Sand. All right. December 20th, huh? Oh, Zombic. Yeah, yeah, Michelle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The cholesterol and heart disease, and they don't have a scale for people. They don't check to see what your specific healthy cholesterol level is to you specifically. They just have a number across the board for every human on the planet. And I think it varies a little bit. It might vary by 5 to 10 points for each individual, but they will put you on a pill guaranteed. So yeah, I'm not saying cholesterol, high cholesterol is a wonderful thing or any shit like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I don't trust those sons of bitches. Yeah, I've heard that our brain is 95% cholesterol, and cholesterol is actually, one of the most important things that our body needs. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell. I just question shit. Yeah, yeah, sprinkle. Yeah, I believe it. They'll treat you. What was that lady's name? that she basically got canceled by Hollywood for talking out against for being an anti-vaxxer. She was the really first anti-vaxxer. I forget her name, but she didn't want to get her kids vaccinated. And if you look at the stats, it's like um, people, your chance of dying from polio is like 1 in 10,000 or something like that. No, it's the opposite. Like your chances of dying from polio, this is from memory. I'm not, these aren't exact quotes. But anyway, you're, you're 10 times more likely to die from the polio vaccine than you are from polio. And that's across the board with all of them, statistically speaking. Influenza. Way more people die from the influenza vaccine than they do from influenza. So yeah, I'm not big on vaccines. I'm not necessarily an anti-vaxxer. I'm just not getting that shit myself. Call me an anti-vaxxer if you want. Noya, what's up? Oh yeah, Ripley's Believe It or Not. Yeah, yeah. I used to have a big poster, and it had all the different Ripley's Believe It or Not things on there. Yeah. One of them, I remember one of the images on there was two bullets met in the woods. Somebody found two bullets that had met in the woods, and they were mushroomed and uh, into each other, and they were one piece of lead. Yeah, but yeah, I used to love that show. Noya, yeah, yeah, that's good, Sand. In my opinion, yeah, that's all I take. I'll take an Advil, but yeah, that's all I take. Other than that, and even the vitamins, we're sold vitamins by these big corporations, and we're told, but they're just chemicals bonded together in a way, molecules bonded together in a way to trick your body into thinking it's vitamin C. It's not real vitamin C or vitamin A or D or whatever. They're just chemicals bonded, and your body treats them as if they are vitamin D. You know what I mean? Uh, that is so. I once I realized that I don't really take multivitamins. I try to get healthy food, and the one they can take the vitamins right out of the food, right, and put it and make vitamins like that. But those some bitches are expensive. I can't afford that shit. But yeah, yeah, Gen X survives. Sand, you damn right. Yeah, your blood pressure has been low all your life, huh, Noya? Yeah. So what? I mean, who's to say? I mean, how low is it? I don't know how low it is. I'm not a doctor or anything, but who's to say that that's not normal for you? Have you? I don't know. Eggs and salmon. Yeah, Mike. Yeah. Oh, all right, Sand. Prozac. Yeah, I don't take any of that stuff either. But like I say, to each their own. If you need that stuff, I don't. Now I think the younger generation is going too far with it, and everybody's getting on that shit. It's hip to be on a mood stabilizing medication, and I don't think that all of them need it. Oh, all right. Sprinkle, yeah. That and the fact that all kinds of diseases have skyrocketed. You know, childhood diabetes is skyrocketing, um, and all this other stuff is skyrocketing with all this technology we have now. Excuse me. We're supposed to be learning and not getting these things. Why are these things skyrocketing? Why, uh, autism is skyrocketing. Sudden infant death syndrome. Why are these things skyrocketing? It makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, cook the food. Oh, you're a farmer? Yeah, that's good, Sam. I want to get to a point where I am completely self-sufficient. Grow my own food, all of it. Grow my own food, get my power from the sun. I don't want to give the huge corporation anything. I mean, I'm a long way from that, but that's my goal in life. That's my end game. Even if I get to it, just a year before I die, I'll be able to live at least 1 year completely free. No, has he locked up? All right, Sand. Yeah. Not your two below politicians, Bucky. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah, your blood pressure is normal for you, Noya. Yeah. And I think that's how my cholesterol is. My blood pressure is always rock solid every time I go in there. Even if I just got in an argument with my wife, I'll go in there and it'll be whatever. I don't know the numbers, 120 over 80 or whatever. It's just rock solid. My blood pressure is always not low, but perfect, whatever. Uh, but my cholesterol, they say my cholesterol is high. I don't worry about that shit. They can say whatever the hell they want. Uh, I mean, if I went in there several times and my cholesterol had been 10, and I go in there and one time it's 20 all of a sudden, okay, I might think something's up. But every time I go in there it's the same. Nah. Yeah. Yeah. Michelle, yeah. You are lucky not to have to take any medicine. Yeah, yeah, Sprinkle, yeah, they're not all bad, and sometimes they can help people through. My problem with antidepressants and shit is when society pushes it on people. People should, just like feminism, all right? They push that onto women and, make women feel like they have to go get a job and all this shit, whatever. Have to be a certain way. Don't force people to take medication by putting society's pressure on them to be on medication. You know, I don't agree with that. If you need medication and your family, your immediate family is telling you, hey, but to watch TikTok videos and have some moron telling you that you should be on whatever. I don't even know the names of them. So, you go talk to, and then those kind of medications, how do you diagnose whether or not you need to be on one? You go to one doctor and talk to them, and they just ask you some questions and shit because it's all in your head. So you tell them whatever, and they say, no, take some valerian root and get some sleep. And so you go to another doctor. Oh, yeah, I'll write you a prescription. Hell yeah. There you go. Go get you some whatever. So yeah, I don't agree with society putting pressure on people to do any damn thing, to get a job, or you make up your own mind, live your own damn life. You want to be a piece of shit on your mom's couch till you're 50? Go ahead. That's your choice. But or if you want to go and get help and get some medication, you realize you have a problem and you need medication, fine, hey. But for the media and influencers and shit to be talking, no. I don't agree with that. We don't let them drink from the hose. Oh, living's out of here. Yeah, that's I grow some of mine. No, yeah, I want to get to a point where I produce all my own food at some point. Okay, Shannon, different pathophysiology to type one. Yeah, but in any any kind of diabetes, why is there an increase? We're supposed to be have more technology and learn more. So why was there less sickness and illness in the 1800s than there is now? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I look at the ingredients on the backs of foods now and realize then you realize that Europe has banned a lot of that shit, and I don't even want to eat that shit. Yeah, drastically different. Yeah, that it has changed. Have you heard that thing, Michelle? The fast food thing, like McDonald's makes what it sells 65 million hamburgers a day. That's not counting all the meat in the grocery store. That's not counting Burger King and Outback Steakhouse and all this other shit, Wendy's and all these other. But McDonald's serves 65 million hamburgers a day, and I heard this I think from Joe Rogan. Uh, so where are all these cows? Where are all the cows being slaughtered? That would in 1 month we would make cows extinct eating that much beef. So what is actually in these hamburgers? What it can't be beef because we just kill all the cows. You think about it. I mean, you have to conserve some cattle for breeding. You can't just slaughter them all. So we don't have that many cows in the United States to be able to fund all this shit, right? Or across the world. How the hell, now I just heard that Trump's importing beef from Argentina. Like, that's really going to help our farmers here in the United States. That's a whole different subject. More bullshit going on, but gabapentin, okay. Clonopin, okay. Seizures, all right. Yeah, I mean, some people need it. I'm not, shitting on those kind of medications entirely, but the people that don't need it shouldn't be taking it, in my opinion. And people shouldn't be. It shouldn't be cool to be on some kind of pharmaceutical. That should not be cool. It should not be the in thing, right? 1970. That was a good year. A year before I was born. Where's the beef? Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, probably Felix. All right. Well, all right. So it's time for me to wrap up. I appreciate all of y'all stopping by. Yeah, Michelle, 3D printed meat. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that shit. Meat, synthetic meat. Yeah. So they can say it has real meat in it. Yeah, no, yeah. So, yep, it's time to shut her down for today. Let's see. Today's Monday. The next live stream will be tomorrow morning at the same time. And then tomorrow at 8 Eastern Time, tomorrow evening at 8 Eastern Time, we'll do another one. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do them in the evening as well at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So you're all invited to those. Soybean, sand, yeah. Soybean and all kinds of shit. I don't like that soybean stuff, period. That GMO Monsanto shit, no, that's just not for me. Y'all have a wonderful day. You too, Michelle. Have a great day. Have a great Christmas week and a great Christmas holiday. Hopefully, y'all have some time off and can spend some time with your families and have a little left over to watch episodes of Gen X Thinks and contribute to our conversation here. I'll say goodbye to Ezekiel, Michelle, Rocker, Jeff 7, Shannon, Felix, Noya, Dog Karma, Sand. Who else we got here? I know. Oh, Wayne Beatty, Zombie. I saw Mike Fleisner in here somewhere. I know he was here. Bucky, I think Bucky already left us. He's supposed to be listening though. Sprinkle, can't forget Sprinkle. All right. Oh, Living and Active, and don't forget that that link up there that I pinned for Living and Active to visit that YouTube channel. Okay. All right. I think I got Rocker. I missed Rocker. Now I got him. So goodbye to everybody. And if I forgot or I didn't see your name and didn't say your name, I apologize. But goodbye to you as well. Goodbye if you watch on TV and don't join in the chat. Merry Christmas to everyone, and thanks for your time. I really do appreciate it. Sincerely, I appreciate your time. So thank you very much. And here is my spiel. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you'd like to support Gen X Thinks by becoming a member, I'll put that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. I appreciate all the members down in the banner down here. Their support is invaluable, so thank you very much to all the existing members. I really do appreciate it. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can do so by clicking on that super thanks button down there. Or you can hit that hype button. The hype button is something new that YouTube has come up with for smaller channels like mine, and I really do appreciate those of you who take a second and punch that hype button for me. It helps out a lot, so thank you very much. If you're interested in Gen X gear, we got some pretty cool stuff over there at Redbubble. Gen X Thinks and Gen X branded stuff, t-shirts, coffee mugs, ball caps, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff. But I'll leave that link down in the description for any of you who are interested. If you can't or don't want to support the channel in any of those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. That helps out one hell of a lot, so thank you very much to those of you who do that. And if you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, please put those down in the comments. Or you can email us, and the email is genxthinks@gmail.com. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.